Greetings, adventurers, and welcome to the Astral Artificery. I'm Cass, and today I'm kicking off something that I've been interested in doing and have been asked for a lot. And that's a how-to series, especially for my leatherworking, or you could say my own little leatherworking school. Now, I am no grand master of this craft. I'm not part of any guild that's been around for centuries. I'm just someone who got into leatherworking because I wanted all the cool Renaissance fair gear that I could never afford. I started leather, realistically, as a side hobby while I was running a forge, doing things like knife sheaths and belts, and it turned into this, my artificery, full of leather, tools, projects, everything under the sky. So one of the questions I get the most is, where did you learn to do this? Well, I learned from a lot of places. I piecemealed a lot of YouTube videos together. I also been in the cosplay realm for quite a while. I've done a lot of foam smithing, sewing. I genuinely love it. Costuming, design, making something with my hands is just the best thing for me. If any of you are curious, there is actually a lot of overlap, in my personal opinion, between foam and leather. So what I teach here, it will transfer over pretty well. The materials are a little bit different, but it's very similar ways to work. For all of the cosplay things, I actually learned a lot from Kamui and Kinpatsu Cosplay. Individually, they've got great books, they've got great tutorials out there. If by any chance this gets to them, thank you for all of your guys' training materials. It's been amazing in my journey. But where I learned leather the best was actually from Black Raven Armory. If you don't know them, I highly recommend you look them up. They are some of the best leather workers that I've seen. Alex is amazing with his armor and his designs. And the fact that he shared all of that knowledge with us for a little while was amazing. I've got a lot of his patterns that I use for armor that I make. But I also learned, the patterning, the design, all of that. Maybe not all of that. Him. And so I'm going to share how I've been working since learning all of that with you guys. So the way I do it is definitely not the way that he does it nowadays. But the basics are there. And that's what we're going to be going over. So what I feel sets my work apart from the others is really a lot of leatherworkers in this field. And by this field, I mean, armor, I mean the Renaissance fair stuff, belts, pouches, fan braces, full suits of armor is what I'm talking about. I'm not necessarily talking about saddles and holsters and the various other cowboy leather, as I like to call it, the florally designs. That's a whole different field all on its own, especially from what I do and how I work. But with armor, many leatherworkers fall, or not necessarily fall, but lean into the Viking, Norse themes. It's extremely popular. Knotwork is lots of fun, and as I get going into the series some, you'll see that it's really a great way to train on how to do a lot of the work. But me personally, I like to work more in the realm of fantasy. Think less battle berserker and more rogue with enchanted glowing vambraces. That's what I love doing. Let me say this, for all of you watching and listening, I am far from the final word on leathercraft. My methods, they can be sloppy sometimes, I'll admit that. They're not always proper. We learn with the tools that we have, and old habits die hard, right? But that's okay, because at the end of the day, I'm happy with what I turn out. My customers are happy with my work, and that's all that matters. So even if I don't make that sale of the century, I'm happy with my art. So this series, is about how I work, what's worked for me, what I wish people had told me when I was learning. So whether you're an absolute beginner or just a hobbyist looking to branch out, or you're one of my competitors and you want to see how some of your competitors work, everybody's welcome here. You're in the right place. And for all of you masters out there that want to grumble and moan and whine about how I don't do things properly, or how dare you teach people to do things that haven't been done for the last 5,000 years, I don't care. This is, again, about how I work. This is not necessarily going to be any sort of methods that'll work for people. I hope it works for you. I genuinely do, because the way that I work, it's simple. But I'm here to share, I'm here to teach, and I'm here to hopefully inspire you to make your own fantastical magic. And something else that I really, really want to make clear. I am and always will be a supporter of free knowledge. These communities wither and die when people aren't willing to help train the next generation. So that is what I'm trying to do here. I will never require anybody to pay anything to view any of my videos. I will have different lengths and different cuts and things like that in my videos, depending on which platform that I'm posting the videos on. But I will have the full videos somewhere for you for free. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would definitely appreciate the likes, the views, the shares, the reposts, the engagement, because I would like to get monetized with this. This is my business. A large part of it right now is selling things, but if I can put content out there to have money coming in, even if it's just a little trickle on the side, everything helps keep me in business. I will be putting up a Patreon page. Again, it is not required to view any of the basic material that I'm going to be putting out, but there will be, exclusive patterns that some of the tiers can get. There will be one-on-one crafting time if you need it, various things like that. I will be getting a Discord set up as well, so stay tuned for that. But again, the basics, how to, what are the tools, what are the materials, all of that I am offering out here just so that people can learn how to do this. Which brings us to, what are we going to cover? I'm going to do this a little bit backwards from how I was taught. I'm going to start with the tools, the materials, how do we stitch, how do we stain, how do we put rivets in armor. We're going to start with that because that's what people seem to want to hear about the most. And then after those videos are done, I'm going to be putting together patterning and design. Something else to be clear about. I did not at all go to school for art. I studied ecology. I've got a bachelor's and a master's in ecology. So if you're sitting there worried, man, I wish I could do something like this. I don't have the talent. I don't have the skill. First off, talent versus skill, practice. But if I can design armor and bags and all kinds of things as a nature scientist, so can you. We'll go through, inspiration, design, practicality, doing the work itself, from cutting out the leather to staining and making it pretty. We will do all of that. And you guys can feel free to follow along. This video is probably getting long enough. So grab some leather Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't listen to people telling you that you can't do it or that your work sucks, because every artificer starts somewhere. So follow along if you want to learn the ways of my magic, and welcome adventurers to the Astral Artificery.